Hello everyone, Chris here with Phoenix Studios, and today we are going to be jumping back into Farming Simulator 22. This is a game that's been out for a few months now, and I previously did start a series with this, but it was not well received, and with good reason. I admit it was not that entertaining trying to watch me fumble around with the controls, figure out what in the world I was doing. I honestly had no clue. I'm not a farmer, even though I am from Kentucky. You would think I would be. I did grow up next to 3 tobacco fields, but still, I don't really know a whole lot about farming. However, I have been playing the game off and on over the last few months, and I think I kind of got the hang of it. Another thing I think you guys would prefer is I kind of took more of a comedic approach with it the first time around, and I got a few comments saying that you guys would prefer more of a lifelike kind of sim, or maybe more of a role-playing kind of thing. So that's what we're going to try to do today. And not only that, but we're not going to play on the easiest setting either. We're going to make this a little bit harder on our new farmer guy that we're going to create. So we're going to play on start from scratch mode. This is the hardest difficulty in the game. It's a real challenge, it says. The economy is tough, prices are low, and you've already taken out a hefty credit with the bank. Gameplay elements are on the most realistic setting. So most realistic setting, you guys said you wanted realistic. That's what we're going to go for today. I admit I still really don't know a whole lot about what I am doing with this game, but I know more than I did before. I feel like I know enough that I can kind of work this into the character that we are going to be playing anyway. So this will kind of be more of a role-playing sort of experience that I'm going to try to do. Now, when it comes to maps, we are going to play on Elm Creek. We do have the other 2 maps, but honestly, I'm an American. I'm from America. I want to play on an American type map, even though so many people out there are actually playing on Elm Creek, and maybe you guys are probably getting sick of Elm Creek. I like it. I think it's a well-made map, and this is the one I kind of know and the one I kind of want to use. All right, so let me introduce you now to our main character, our protagonist, so to speak, of the game story that we're going to try to tell here. This is TJ Morgan. Now, like a lot of people over the last few years, he's had a hard go of it. Recently, he found out his wife has been cheating on him with his best friend, so he's getting a divorce, and he also lost his job due to the outbreak and a cutback in workforce operations. So what he's decided to do is basically just make a living off the land. So he sold his house, bought a piece of land out here in this little area that we are in, and he's gonna try his hand at farming. So he's got a little bit of basic knowledge about what he's doing, mostly from watching a lot of YouTube videos, and he thinks he's got a pretty good grasp on it. The question is, does he actually have that knowledge, or is this going to be a complete failure? Well, time will tell, but we have taken out a sizable loan from the bank to help us out. About $200,000 we're in debt, plus a little bit of savings he has left after selling his house and everything. So pretty much all he has is the land that he's bought and this old pickup truck. And that's pretty much it. So now that we've gotten to know the character that we are going to be playing, let's take a look at the farmland that we have bought. So this little plot of land right here, I was able to get pretty cheap because it was a bank foreclosure. So we got a nice, decent house here. Not too bad. I mean, you know, as far as houses go, it could be a lot better. It's a bit of a fixer-upper, still. Got a nice couple of sheds and kind of a barn system going on over here. The silo, my understanding, the real estate agent said that this silo doesn't work and it will need a bit of repairs or possibly even torn out and a new one put in. So that's something we may end up having to do later on. The land, as I said, was a foreclosure. We have 2 plots of fields here that we can work with. One of them already has soybeans growing on it, and we have weeds also growing in there, so we may have to do a bit of spraying to get rid of those. And we've got some canola over here, which is actually ready to harvest right now. That's not bad. Definitely got some large weeds in there though, so you know, maybe we can get rid of that too with some spraying. So I think the first thing we're going to need to do is do some spraying, and then we'll probably harvest that canola. Now, one thing I want to do on my land here, I also would very much like to get some chickens. I hear chickens are a huge moneymaker with eggs. So that's something I kind of want to get into and try out. Now, we don't just have this little land, as you can see here, with just these two fields. We actually have a bunch of the land behind here as well. Unfortunately, most of this is mountainous, kind of hills, and you know, it could be good for maybe trees, but I don't really know what else we could be doing with this. It's going to be hard to flatten this out and turn it into farmland, but it's a possibility. Now, we may also have to check out later on and go through these buildings. There's probably some stuff left in there, maybe some old antiques or something we can sell off and make a little extra money. Who knows? Okay, now that we've taken a look at the land and we've got a pretty good plan of action on what we're going to need to do, the next thing is we're going to need some equipment to work this land with. So there is a dealership here in town. Apparently they're the largest in the valley. They seem to deal in pretty much anything you could possibly need. We're going to hop in Old Expendable here and we're going to drive down there and check out what they have in stock. Alrighty, we've made it to the dealership. Let's go ahead and check out the inventory and see what we're going to need to start off with. Alright, so I've been talking to some of the guys in here at Clever Motors, and one of the first things we're going to need is a small tractor. So they've got lots in stock, but they are pretty pricey, and you know, that's what you're going to get for a lot of the newer stuff. However, they did tune me in to a farmer down the road who just happens to be selling an old Massey Ferguson, so we're probably going to head over to his farm in a little bit and check that out. As far as saving some money elsewhere, though, we are going to need a harvester first, and they just happen to have this old Ford 622 combine sitting in the garage, even with the header, that apparently they've been a lot of work done to it. It's practically brand new, is what they're telling me. Had lots of replacement parts put on it, and it runs great, and they're willing to sell this to me for around close to $18,000 with the header combined, and I think that's a pretty good deal considering most of the harvesters are quite high. Getting this for about 18 grand, I think that's a steal. You know, yeah, of course it's older, it doesn't have a whole lot of horsepower, it's going to be a little slow, but we've only got 2 small plots of land, and I think that should work well. So let's go ahead and I think I'm going to take that from them. Yeah. Alright, now we're going to need something to haul around our equipment and stuff on, and I think this trailer right here, the DTS 5.9, is going to be perfect for what we're going to need it for. It should fit right on the back of my old pickup, and of course my pickup does have a pretty good size engine in it, so I think this will work just fine. Go ahead and buy this off of them too. So that's going to run up to about $24,500. Now we are going to need a lot of other equipment such as plows. We're going to need some sort of spraying system, I think, as well, and a few other things. But before we get any of that, I think we should probably decide on a tractor. So I'm actually going to head over to this this guy's place who has this Massey Ferguson I was mentioning earlier, and we're going to check that out just to see what he's actually got. Okay, so I headed over here. I talked to the old farmer over here. He's got the Massey Ferguson for sale, and check this out, guys. We have a Massey Ferguson 398 4x4, and look at this thing. It's in great shape. Like, I'm so surprised. This thing it's practically new. It's immaculate. The 398 is about 100 horsepower. I think that's going to do us perfect for everything that we're going to need to do right off the bat, just to get us started. We'll need something a little better later on down the road, but for our small farm that we have just to start out with, I think this is going to do us great. So I've already got the trailer pulled up there. Not sure why I don't have the things down on it back here. I tell you what, guys, this thing has a nice rumble to it, nice smooth engine. This is a great deal. So the guy just wants like $41,000 for it, I think, something like that. I was like, sure, this seems like a great deal for me. I'm gonna go ahead and take it. I love the looks of this tractor. I could have probably maybe have gotten a better tractor or newer one or something for around the same cost, close to it. But for our needs, I really like the looks of this one. This reminds me of tractors that I used to see growing up all the time. So this is the one that we are going to take, and we're going to give this guy a new home. So we got it loaded up on the trailer here, and now I just go to finish loading everything up, and we're going to take it to its new home. So I think we're going to stop by Clever Motors here one last time before we head back to our farm, because now that we have a tractor, we're going to need the attachments and everything. Got a pretty good idea of what we're going to need. So let's go ahead, talk to these guys one more time, do a little more shopping, and then we'll be ready to do some farming. Alright, so one of the things we are first going to need is some sort of spraying system. This is probably going to cost me the most. So I'm being told that because of the size of the tractor that these right here, this Mega 1200, we've got the Kuhn Deltas, we've got Vernlands or Convernlands, we got a Shepherd sprayer, which is actually pretty cheap, but these guys won't actually do us any good because they're going to tip our tractor over because the way the tractor is made, the weight on the front of it just isn't big enough, or at least that's what they're telling me. So we're going to need something a little different for this. You know, I'm thinking as a Vernland iX Track T4 right here. So the way that this one is made, it actually has the wheels and stuff, and that's going to balance everything out. And this is pretty much the only way we're going to do it. So we saved on our tractor, we saved on our harvester, but we are going to have to put down a bit of cash out of our pocket for a good spraying system. But this isn't horrible because I think there's a lot of spraying contracts and stuff that some of the other farms and stuff are offering around here, which I could take up, and we could probably make our money back on this. So, especially since it holds so much. This thing holds like 4,600 liters, weighs about 5 tons. It's got an 18-meter spread. I could up that for more money, but I just don't think it's really worth that. So, I think, yes, I think we're going to go with this one, and that should do just fine for a spraying system. Alright, next thing we're going to need is some sort of plow. Now, Clever Motors has tons of plows in stock here that aren't too shabby, but we are going to need to save a little bit of cash here where we can. So this Pottinger Servo 25 is about 14K, and I think it's not bad. It's a pretty good size. It's only about 85 horsepower is needed, so that's under the 100 horsepower that our tractor has, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. So I think we're going to go with this one, the Pottinger Servo 25, for our plow. Now we've got our harvester, we have our tractor, we've got a plow, we've got a spraying system. Since we're getting ready to harvest some canola, we are going to need a small trailer to carry that in. That way we can take it off. Alright, so we're probably going to go with this Welger DK115. It's a basic beginning trailer. It doesn't hold a lot, but I think that will be fine for what we need it for. It's only 13K as well. I've got it customized here. I'm a big fan of Michelin tires, so which we don't have, so I'll go with the Trelleborg with the basic ones. We'll keep everything else the same. Yes, I think this is going to do us just fine, so we'll go ahead and get that for the 13K. Now, I also thought about getting a baler as well, but since our first thing we're going to be harvesting is canola, doesn't make straw, so we're not going to need a baler or anything. I think everything that we've bought so far will do us. I don't think there's anything else I need at the moment. If we do, then I will just go ahead and come back and we'll pick that up. And thus concludes our shopping spree for the moment. I also grabbed a couple of pallets of herbicide, and they are getting a lot of my stuff ready. I've already got the plow loaded onto Old Mazzy here, and it looks like they are getting my harvester ready out there. Just giving it one final look over and making sure everything's good with it. Most likely I'll have to come back and get the rest of the stuff, but everything else I bought is getting delivered, which is great. I won't have to come back for that, just the harvester. So let's go ahead and get back to our farmland here real quick. Alright, we got Old Mazzy and the plow unloaded from the back of our trailer. Now we just gotta head back into town. We gotta pick up the harvester. Luckily we had some help from this guy here. He decided to come by and at least supervise, you know. So, you know, there was that. But yeah, so we're gonna head back. I'm gonna pick up the harvester. We're gonna bring that back and then wait for the rest of the stuff to get delivered, and then we can do some weeding. Alright, now with everything delivered and here in its place, it is time to start our journey to living off the land. And the first step of that journey is going to be getting rid of these weeds. So, alright, we're going to take our tractor, we're going to hook it up to our sprayer here. Alright, we're going to get our tractor into position, and then we're going to unfold our sprayer system here. And looks like this should probably take about 2 passes per field, I think. just from what I can see. So, alright. Let's get started. Yep. Looks like this would be perfect. Yeah, about 2 passes, and we should be done. This is going to be the easy part right here. And then we'll take our second pass at it over here, getting the other side. And with that done, we'll move over here to our field of canola over here. And we'll start on this one, so we'll unfold over here. Alright, and then we'll go over the other side here. And this should do the job. Just kind of right up to the edge there. There we go. Alright, now we've got both fields sprayed with the herbicide. And I'll just take my tractor right over into this area over here. And we'll hop over here, shut the engine off, and we'll just leave this sitting here for a moment. And now for the last thing to end our day, we are going to hop in this old Ford harvester here. Gonna power this baby up. Started up pretty easy. Definitely it feels its age though. That's for sure. Alright, so let's see if we can get her going here. Alright, she may be old, but she's still got some life in her still. Let's go ahead and lower our header down here. There we go. And we'll start her up. Smooth as butter. Alright, all said and done, we ended up filling this thing up to about 42% with 1,374 liters. So not a lot. Definitely not. But we should get a little something out of that, I think, if we decide to sell it. So the question is, do we want to sell it or do we want to keep it and do something else with it? That is an excellent question. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and just unload this here. And then just bring it right over here. I probably should have put the pipe out first. I didn't think of that at the time, though. No worries. We'll hop back on to our harvester here. And then we'll just fill up our trailer here. That didn't take long at all. Put the pipe back down. Go ahead and turn it off. And then there we go. Alright, so definitely a small load. I'm not sure what we're going to do with that yet. I almost feel like I want to sell it. Let me see what we can kind of get out of that right now. Alright, if we take a look at prices right now on canola, looks like our best bet is probably going to be Johnson's Farmer Market with about 553 per 1,000 liters. So I'll probably end up with around, $700, give or take. Something like that. So, yeah, not a great first harvest, but it is what it is. So that's going to do it for the day here of our vlog on Morgan Farms. We've gotten started. We've gotten all the equipment we needed. We got our first harvest done, even though it's not going to be a lot of money. It's a start. It's definitely a start in the right direction, I hope. And I hope to see you, everybody, in the next episode. If you enjoyed it, make sure to comment down below. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. And I will see you in the next episode. Until then, wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.